Five-time champions Chennai Super Kings. It looks like the owners of the franchise are going to be having a busy day in Dubai on the 19th of December when the IPL mini auction is set to take place. Yes, you're looking at several retentions, you're looking at several releases as well. We're going to be telling you about who are those players that the Chennai Super Kings are now willing to offload. There is a certain World Cup winner over there as well in the list. And after we're done talking about the Chennai Super Kings, who we feel are going to be one of the busiest franchise at the mini auction, we'll then tell you about some of the other players as well who are going to be released by their franchises. A certain Harry Brook, he seems to be running out of time with his franchise, the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Also the KKR as well, they look like they've lost out on time with a couple of key players as well, and could be very busy in the upcoming auction as well. So let's just first deep dive into the Chennai Super Kings and tell you who are those players that the Chennai Super Kings are willing to see off now. At number one is Ben Stokes, the World Cup winner who snapped up for a fee of 16.25 crores. Didn't have an ideal IPL 2023. It looks like now the franchise is willing to part ways with Benjamin Stokes because he has already made himself unavailable for the upcoming season of the IPL. He wasn't, let's say, at his very best in those limited opportunities that he got in the 2023 edition as well, because he was struggling with injuries as well. He didn't get a consistent run in the 2023 edition. He was snapped up, as I said, for 16.25 crores by the franchise, and now given his injuries and the fact that he wasn't in a rich vein of form earlier as well in the World Cup, it looks like the franchise have now made up their mind that they're going to be parting ways with Ben Stokes, who comes in with a valuation of 16.25 crores. He struggled with a knee injury last year. He had a toe injury as well midway through the season. So very up and down season there for Ben Stokes in 2023, and now it looks like both the franchise and Ben Stokes will not be on the same page anymore. Now, talking about Ambati Rayudu, who was snapped up for 6.25 crores by the franchise. He, remember, decided to retire from cricket a couple of months back. So that automatically adds another 6 crores and 75 lakh rupees to the CSK purse, and their purse now becomes even bigger. Remember, the teams this year at the mini auction will be getting an additional 5 crores that the IPL Governing Council has now approved each franchise to have an additional sum of 5 crore rupees. So from 95 crores that every team had in the previous auction, you're now looking at 100 crores that every team will have. And the CSK are willing to let go of Ben Stokes, as we told you, and because Ambati Rayudu has decided to retire, they will automatically get those 6.75 lakh rupees in their account as well. So moving on, sticking with the CSK franchise, Dwayne Pretorius again didn't do much in the 2023 season. He was again bought for just 50 lakh rupees. That's a nothing sum if you ask, but he is also one of those players who is going to be released. Also on the release list are Kyle Jamieson and Sisanda Mangala. One of these two players will only be released, not both of them, is what the present understanding is. That's what the reports are suggesting. Both of them valued at 1 crore each. Kyle Jamieson again has been jostling with injuries of late. He was available, let's say, for New Zealand in the latter half of the tournament. He was traveling with the team for the longest time, was then added to the main squad as well. He has spent a lot of time on the sidelines over the last 1 year or so, but has been in action of late. Having said that, it looks like he could also be on the chopping block along with Sisanda Mangala. Only one of them could be retained by the franchise. Now, the other big person or the other big player who will see himself on the chopping block perhaps and will not be retained by his franchise is Harry Brook, who was snapped up for 13.25 crores by the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Had a solitary 100 to his name in the 2023 edition of the IPL, but apart from that, a string of low scores and his inability to really execute his skill in India, perhaps the big reason why his franchise are planning to bid him adieu. this time around at the mini auction. The other big gun as far as IPL is concerned, Sam Curran, who was snapped up for a record-breaking fee of 18.50 crore, he too will be on his way out. The Punjab Kings, after a couple of seasons of investing in Sam Curran, I think you would gauge that they've run out of patience with Sam Curran, because again he hasn't quite been able to execute the kind of skill that you saw from him at the 2021 and the 2022 T20 World Cup. Things haven't really replicated well for him in the IPL as well as he has done so at the international stage with his national team, which is why you see Punjab Kings now ready to let go of Sam Curran as well. Let's now shift the focus to KKR, the other team that we expect to be having a busy season, or rather a busy day in Dubai at the mini auction are going to be KKR. Why that is, we'll tell you, because there are some couple of big players that they are willing to let go of. First up is Tim Saudi, who's snapped up for just 1.50 crore. Again, we know he's got the ability to both get some swing. He's a very good bowler as well, as we know, the highest ODI wicket taker for New Zealand unless I'm mistaken, and has the ability to tonk the ball a fair distance as well. There could be buyers for him, don't be surprised. He's an experienced campaigner. But it looks like KKR have decided to part ways with him. Now, here's going to be the player who is definitely going to be in high demand, and that's going to be Lockie Ferguson. What exactly is the reason that KKR have decided to part ways with him just after one season? We don't quite know that yet. But having said that, he comes in with a valuation of 10 crore rupees, and he could be going in for a similar valuation if you were to ask me, because there's going to be plenty of teams who are going to be wanting his services given his experience and his ability to nail the Yorker. Another player who will be up for grabs and the KKR are willing to let go of is Indian all-rounder Shardul Thakur, who did feature in the World Cup, played a couple of matches, didn't participate after that India versus Bangladesh game that took place. Having said that, he's a rare commodity, we know, because not many Indian all-rounders are there for the taking, and we've seen in the past as well players who can both bat and bowl, especially of Indian origin, of Indian nationality, are highly valued, which is why you see this valuation for Shardul Thakur as well. This was, by the way, the price that the Delhi Capitals had first paid for him, but then you saw a swap deal take place and he was then snapped up by the KKR franchise. And the only one retention that we are at the moment pretty sure of, as reports are suggesting, is that the KKR franchise could perhaps go ahead and persist with Andre Russell, who again had an up and down season. You remember, he too is down with the injuries, has been down with injuries over the last couple of years. Not quite the all-rounder that he used to be, but still can clear the ball and can hit it a fair distance. Is valued at 16 crores. If the KKR franchise were to, let's say, let go of him, he'll definitely, it'll definitely mean that there'll be more franchises who will take interest in him firstly, but otherwise it's a big sum, and KKR can really look at a couple of players that they can fill in as far as that particular void is concerned. But on a given day, Andre Russell is a match winner and he can really turn things around. So that's as far as SRH, KKR, CSK are concerned. This is the little scoop that we managed to have access to here at Sports Today. Again, these are reports as of now that we have had access to, and certain reliable sources telling us about how the teams are looking at as far as this mini auction is concerned. 19th of December is when things become official, when we really get to know who these players are, who are going to be up, who are going to go under the hammer and are going to be available as far as the other teams are concerned. But for now, that's what we know, and as we build up to the mini auction, which will take place on the 19th of December, we'll keep updating you as far as what every team is planning. But looking at how things stand, it does look like the Chennai Super Kings and the KKR are going to be indeed very, very busy on the 19th of December.